whitetail prep, getting after the donkeys. We're gonna be talking strategy. We're gonna be planting some food plots. We're gonna be watching Blake act a fool like always. I want to give you guys some tips, tricks, and whatever else comes with this weekend. But we're excited. We're back in the woods down in southeastern Minnesota, our stomping grounds here. We got some really good up-and-comers from last year that made it into this year, and now it's time to map it out all in the woods, put our plays into the playbook, and see if it comes together for us. So stick with us, stay tuned. We'll be talking strategy and what we do to get ready for this 2022 whitetail season coming up.
You just wrote that?
No. On this big plot. This is one of our largest food plots that we have, and it's taken us about 3 or 4 years to really figure it out. And the reason for that is about a mile that way we've got a busy highway that cuts our 2 properties, but we also have ag fields in between with a water source. And the reason that this was so tough is because you have hillside where they're bedding up on the hillsides and on the ridges, and they're coming off of here, but for us to get into here the last 3 years it's been so difficult because they would see us coming across the river. And so what we did is this last season, you can kind of see where it was, but it's about 2 Ranger widths apart. And what we did here is it's called screen plot. Grows 8-15 feet tall, and the reason for that is it's a shield as we're coming in, and it also gives the deer a sense of security when they're inside of this screen plot. It gives them, you can see that their reaction. We have B-roll from last year on some bigger deer that we've had encounters with here, along with one that Aaron Sheldon killed. But once they get into here, they know that they can't be sunlighted or silhouetted from the exterior, and so that's why we're building a shield in here. This will be beans, and then we're gonna hand spread turnips over the top as they start to come in for that more late season. We've got a bow stand that we might move that, and then we also have a movable stand that we put in this screen plot, because entering in they can't see us, we sneak in and we're good. And this is usually a really good late season plot for us. Haven't really tried it out in the early season, but talking strategy, biggest thing is making sure that they feel comfortable within this big of a food plot, and that they have food, water. We have a pond over there, we have water here year-round for them, because it's easy for them to come off the bedding. So we've tried 2 or 3 different ways. We also used corn as essentially a screen plot, but this one's by Antler King. It's the barricade, and we always hand spread it on. Plants up to 1/4 of an acre, and we just run it on this outside edge. Screen for us getting in, makes the deer feel protected. In another plot that we'll take you to, we actually use about 4 to 6 rows of corn down in there to use as a screen plot for us coming in and out, and it changed a world of a difference last year for us.
Start at 1.5. Maybe 2.
Move a little. Go. Hold on. Go. All right, so what we got rocking in this plot, this food plot has probably been the biggest puzzle piece for us to solve. Reason for this is, you'd think it's easy. You got a river down there, big bedding, big woods, big timber, and they should funnel right in, but that's not the case. I think when we first started this plot, we kept expanding it, and when they started coming into it, they weren't comfortable. And so last year was the first year of us trying the new design, where I talked about it earlier. But on the top side of this plot, we actually do about 5 rows, 6 rows of corn. And then on the very bottom, so this whole bottom, I don't even know how you'd say that this is shaped, kind of like an arrow almost. And so the top and the bottom side of the triangle or arrow or whatever you want to call it is both corn. And the reason that we did that is because once they get inside, they have shield from either side. And so when they get inside, they feel comfortable. There's also, it goes corn, bean here, bean inside the trees, and then we broadcast turnip. We hand spread turnip over the top. And so there's enough food in here with bedding close that last year it was lights out. I mean, we saw more deer in this along with mature bucks that came in here. When they got into here, they were comfortable, where the last 4 years they were never comfortable. Sorry, these bugs are insane out here. But the biggest thing that I can tell you once again is it's screen plot or something that's similar to, and on this case it's corn for us. And when they get into this big of a space that's open, if you have those shields on the outer edges, you're going to be golden and they're going to feel comfortable in there. So talking a little bit about how do you get to this point, this nice tacky dirt, right? This has taken years of us turning this over, picking big sticks out, roots, clearing trees, pulling rocks. First thing you're going to do on any of these plots, you're going to fertilize. We're going to then come in, we're going to turn over that dirt, get the fertilizer underneath. As you can see in the background here, Blake is broadcasting beans on. So we're going to do a mix of beans, corn, turnip on this plot. But all of the beans that we're going to do on here are most likely going to be broadcasted. And when we broadcast, then we go back through and we drag it over. The reason for that is you turn the soil over on it, and it doesn't need a lot of compaction underneath that, and then we roll it on top just so then it compresses that soil a little bit. That's how we do it for these couple plots. For our corn plots, we have a 4-row corn planter that we'll just plant them right in. After that, you really don't have to do anything on that side. For the turnips, if you get a good rain, you're going to be okay, and that's why we broadcast them after everything else is planted on these. Planting Field of Dreams. This is actually where Devin killed his first ever mature whitetail buck, so it brings back some good memories. But what we learned from last season and what we're going to put into this season is what I'm going to show you. So last season, the biggest thing here is if you look over the food plot, and the deer can be silhouetted or skylined when they're looking out that way. And what we've noticed is whenever they come out of the woods, wherever they're looking, the first thing they're doing is looking that way. And so last year what we did is we put a buffer or a screen plot with corn on that top side of that ridge, and it ran all the way across, so it blocked their field of view up into the skyline, which helps them feel a little more comfortable. And then we had an alleyway going in the middle. It didn't work how we wanted. We were hoping they were going to funnel up through. And then what we noticed last year is right towards that big tree there is we ran the corn right at that. And what the deer would do is they would walk right on the edge of that corn because they felt good because they just had that big screen behind them. And so what we're doing this year is we're going to push it a little farther this way within shooting range. So if one of those big mature whitetail happened to be walking that field edge right on the corn, then we can still get a shot at them in case they don't progress towards us. But how we've layered it is corn on the upper half of this field, and then it's gonna go beans all the way up until a 20-yard shot, and then within there is gonna be turnips past this way, past our stand here. And the reason for that is then we continue to have food throughout the year, and the turnips, when it gets cold, they're gonna start digging those up, and we always like them closer into our stands, and that's how it's worked for us. So two big changes to this plot. We moved our screen plot, which is our corn, closer to the stand, so it's within shooting range or more comfortable shooting range, and it makes the deer also feel comfortable when they're inside of it. But we also get a better field of view for them, and they also have a better browsing area throughout this plot. So we still have yet to come back and cultipack that. Just rolling it, it's going to give you better seed to soil contact. And we did a little trial run last year on 3 of our plots on another farm that we have. It worked fantastic, and now we're going to do it across all of our plots this year. We're going to finish this plot up and hope for a little rain. Make sure you check out our summer 2022 drop. We've We've got some awesome Hawaiian shirts. We've got our Make America Deer Hunt Again hats back in stock. And in a few months, we're gonna check back in with you guys, show you how these food plots are progressing, and really show you what they look like when they're starting to mature to full maturity and right before bow season. Good luck hunting. Good luck planting your food plots out in the woods and enjoy your summer. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll check back with you in a few months.